DreamWorks is famous for its characters with great development, so in this video, I'm breaking down the top 5 characters with the best growth. At number 5, we have Puss in Boots. When we first meet Puss, he's this smooth-talking swashbuckling cat who's all about showing off his sword skills and getting what he wants. He's got this mischievous streak and often seems more interested in his own gain than in anything else. However, as he teams up with Shrek and Donkey, things start to change. Over time, Puss evolves from being just a charming rogue into a character with real depth. His adventures with Shrek and Donkey teach him a lot about what it means to be loyal and to value friendship. We see him grow as he faces challenges and makes tough choices that put others before himself. These moments of bravery and selflessness reveal a side of Puss that goes beyond his flashy exterior. At number 4, we have Megamind. At the beginning of his story, Megamind is a classic villain. He's always getting into trouble with his arch-nemesis Metro Man and has made a career out of being the bad guy. But everything changes when he accidentally manages to defeat Metro Man, leaving him without anyone to fight against. Suddenly, Megamind is faced with a huge problem: he's lost his purpose. Without a hero to battle, he starts to question who he really is and what he wants from life. This leads him on a journey of self-discovery and redemption. He decides he wants to be a hero himself, not just a villain. As Megamind tries to reinvent himself, his interactions with Roxanne Ritchie play a big role in his transformation. Through his relationship with her, he learns about the value of love, the responsibilities that come with being a hero, and the importance of making good choices. Megamind's story is a great example of how someone can change for the better. Even though he starts out as a villain, his journey shows that who you were in the past doesn't have to dictate who you become in the future. His shift from being a notorious bad guy to a genuine hero highlights the idea that everyone has the potential to redefine themselves and their path in life. At number 3, we have Po, the lovable and clumsy panda. Po starts off working at his family's noodle shop, where he spends his days dreaming of becoming a kung fu master. At first, he seems like an unlikely candidate for greatness. He's big, a bit awkward, and doesn't have the typical skills or training you'd expect from a hero. Everyone around him doubts that he'll ever become a kung fu master. But Po has something that sets him apart: a fierce determination and a huge heart. Even though he's not the strongest or the most skilled at the start, he never gives up on his dream. This drive eventually earns him the title of Dragon Warrior, a legendary hero in the kung fu world. Throughout his journey, Po learns a lot about himself. He realizes that his size and clumsiness, which seemed like weaknesses, can actually be turned into strengths. With intense training and the encouragement of his friends, Po starts to see that his unique qualities are what make him special. His growth from a noodle shop worker to a celebrated kung fu master highlights the idea that anyone can accomplish amazing things, no matter their background or initial shortcomings. At number 2, Hiccup. Hiccup starts off as an awkward young Viking who doesn't quite fit the tough warrior-like mold expected of him. As the son of the Viking chief, there's a lot of pressure on him to be strong and fierce, but he struggles with these expectations. But everything changes when he befriends a wounded dragon named Toothless. This unlikely friendship makes him question the Viking tradition of hunting and killing dragons. As Hiccup spends more time with Toothless, he begins to see dragons in a new light and starts to challenge the old ways of his people. He learns to value his own strengths, like his intelligence and kindness, which are different from the typical Viking traits. Through his experiences, he becomes a bridge between humans and dragons, showing that understanding and empathy can lead to greater harmony than mere physical strength. By the end of his story, Hiccup emerges as a true leader, proving that being yourself and fostering genuine connections can be incredibly powerful. And at number 1, I think it's very obvious: it's Shrek. When we first meet him, he's a grumpy ogre who lives alone in a swamp and enjoys his solitude. He's been rejected by society because of how he looks, so he's perfectly content keeping to himself and scaring away anyone who might come near. Shrek's life takes a turn when he finds out that his swamp has been overrun by fairy tale creatures who've been exiled there by the tyrannical Lord Farquaad. His initial goal is to get rid of these unwanted guests and reclaim his peaceful swamp. Along the way, his journey becomes much more than just getting his home back. As he sets off on his quest, Shrek starts to change. His interactions with Donkey, a talkative and persistent companion, push him out of his comfort zone and force him to deal with his own fears of being rejected and showing vulnerability. Donkey friendship helps Shrek see the value of having people in his life and opens him up to new experiences. The turning point in Shrek's story comes when he realizes that real happiness doesn't come from being alone or hiding away from the world. Instead, it's found in forming genuine connections with others. This realization is most evident in his relationship with Princess Fiona, who loves him for who he truly is, not for his appearance. Shrek's journey redefines heroism in a fairy tale setting, proving that sometimes the most unlikely characters can become true heroes.